Sipping Scripted is back with another episode, and this time we're talking sports. We're talking NFL offseason, and we're talking about how my Dallas Cowboys is going to win the Super Bowl. And I finally got my sister to agree that it's
No,
the
you
Cowboys'
didn't.
year.
It's not. It's disgusting that you even keep saying that to people. Nonetheless, me, like, your Cowboys need help. I'm not gonna go on my. I'm not gonna.
You're breaking up again.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't move it.
But
Better.
I think I can translate what you said. It's the Cowboys' year. Dak Prescott,
No, that's not.
MVP. Brian Schottenheimer, Coach of the Year. CeeDee Lamb, Receiver of the Year. And Cowboys get Super Bowl number 6. That's basically what you said. That's basically what you said when
No,
you kind of like went in and out. Trust me.
no, that's not what I said, and I'm pretty sure I
I'm a
didn't
good
cut any
lip
out.
reader. I read your lips. That's exactly what you said.
That's not what I said. I said, y'all, I'm not gonna go on rant because I don't have time to debate.
See, you still
Um,
cutting out a little
y'all
bit.
need help. Y'all need help. Is what I'm gonna say. You need help real bad.
All right, whatever. You guys, trust me. I know what she said. I read her lips. But anyway, we're here to talk about NFL offseason. There was a lot of things that actually happened in offseason this particular offseason, and we're gonna talk about it. Coaching changes, offseason moves, contract extensions, new players, NFL draft a little bit. But we're gonna start out with coaching changes. So
Yeah.
go for it.
Um, I think some of the I don't want to talk about all the coaching changes. Let's just talk about some of them. And I think one of the most popular ones is Ben Johnson,
Hmm.
Chicago Bears. I think he left the Lions, right?
Yeah, he was the OC of the Lions. Yes.
Right. And so his whole demeanor seems like it's changed. He's gonna pretty much be there with Caleb. And I think he is a very much a heavy run person because he had Jameer and David Montgomery and
Hmm.
um. So what do you think about Ben Johnson?
I think Ben Johnson, like going into the offseason, like he was the most hyped up coaching potential person that can get a job. And while he did numbers and did good with the Lions or whatever, I'm not quite sure how that's really going to translate to a head coach of a team because, you know, sometimes some of these people that get jobs where now they are offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators, they are terrible coaches. Like, and then he's really going to get a Chicago's Bears team that's kind of young with Caleb Williams at quarterback, second year. He's going to hit that sophomore slump or whatever. And the Bears, like, they're really just not a good team, in my opinion. So it's really going to be on the owners and the organization and how much patience they're going to have with Ben Johnson to right the ship. Because I know I have a few people that are Bears fans, and they was real hyped about the Bears this upcoming year, how they're going to make the playoffs and how they're going to do that. And then they out there losing games on Hail Marys, and the team looked undisciplined, and they didn't make the playoffs. They only had, what, 4 or 5 wins? So as great of an offensive genius that Ben Johnson is, I don't see him turning around the Bears into a playoff team right away. So it's going to go back to one of those situations that he's a young coach, and how much time is the organization going to give him to right the ship and make sure that the Bears are on the right track. So I think that's what it really boils down to. And does he have who's the Bears running back? Do we know who that is?
I don't remember who their running
Uh,
back is.
then they must not have a great running game. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because they got Caleb Williams at quarterback. I mean, he did okay. He wasn't no Jaden Daniels or nothing like that. But I mean, it's really just going to boil down to how patient the organization is, how impatient the fans are going to be when it's Ben Johnson. Yeah, he looks like a splash hire and different things like that. Hindsight, the Bears maybe should probably win in division. I mean, not win in division, but probably be second in that division because you got the Packers, the Vikings, and then the Bears. And I don't know who that fourth team is, but the Packers ain't going nowhere. They're a playoff team. The Vikings, I think, are going to be a playoff team as well, even though they got to question that quarterback as well. They got JJ or who was the quarterback last year? Sam Darnold. He's no longer with the team, and we'll talk about player movement a little bit later. But the Bears could probably still be the third best team in their division, even with Ben Johnson at head coach.
Okay, okay. So that's good. So I think with the Bears, see, um, I think the next notable coach hire, in my opinion, is Mike Vrabel, because he was out for complete season, and now he's with the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots, their whole I don't know. I
I don't
don't
know
know
why you
about
keep cutting out. Hold on. I don't know why you keep cutting out. Put the mic closer or something.
how about that.
That might be a better. All right. So Mike Vrabel, go ahead.
So yeah, Mike Vrabel, New England Patriots. I think I think he's a great coach because he was with the Titans for all those years, and that was just it for them. But it's the Patriots and their team overall. It just, in my opinion, just isn't a good team. They're in their rebuilding phase, and they gave their coach Gerard Mayo like 1 year. I think they gave him a shot. So a lot of people like the Vrabel hire. I don't, because I think it because they didn't give Vrabel the hire. What's that rule that they had to? The NFL has to like give black coaches a fair shot.
The
I think
Rooney
that they
Rule.
just did it. Yeah, so they did it to satisfy the Roney rule last year. They probably didn't really want Gerard Mayo, even though he came from the team, right? So, Vrabel, he's joining a team. They're trying to rebuild. I don't really know what to say other than like the Patriot culture is kind of like maybe he can adapt, but they haven't been the same since like their Tom Brady year with Belichick. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about them.
The only thing that Mike Vrabel probably got going for itself is that the Patriots organization is a very patient one. Other than this latest one with Gerard Mayo, and I think they really just gave him a job, one because of the Rooney Rule, and also just to satisfy Bill Belichick, because he was under Bill Belichick for such a long time. So they kind of felt that, hey, maybe we can just continue this type of culture and maybe he'd just pick it up. And I think they kind of wanted Mike Vrabel before they hired Gerard Mayo, but Tennessee didn't fire him at the time. So I don't know why they didn't try to pursue him, but they just did right by Bill Belichick and gave it to Gerard. It's unfortunate that he didn't really give him an opportunity to coach. And the only thing that's really going to save Vrabel is that he's going to be able to have the ownership, Robert Kraft patience and the fans' patience to kind of like try to rebuild that team. But it's another situation where you got like another young team and you have to go in there and try to turn that team around. Can he probably do it? Probably. But to me, and I know probably Tennessee Titan fans would probably disagree with me, but I don't really remember him having huge success in Tennessee. I think they made like an AFC championship game one time, but other than that, they was like barely on the cusp of making the playoffs every single year. So could Mike be one of those overhyped coaches with little success? Could he be like another Jason Garrett where he can like win a few games but never can really take over the team and get them over the hump? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of coaches that do that. Like they have a
Yeah,
good
you're
regular
right.
season and they stay with these teams for such a long time, and people think that they're great, and they're really
Right.
not. Like they're really not. Mike Tomlin,
Okay,
he never had a losing season, but it's been a minute since he had a Super Bowl. But he keeps
that's true.
having 8-8 seasons or no losing seasons. But how much longer are they really gonna hold on to him in Pittsburgh? I mean, at some point,
I think they're gonna let Tomlin retire there. I mean, honestly,
well, we know who's gonna
I
get him
just
up out of there when they sign Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is a coach
oh, if they
killer.
sign Aaron Rodgers, he good as gone. I feel like I'm with you. Aaron Rodgers is a coach killer, like for real, for real.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. The last coach that I think is kind of notable, but I'm not really sure. Down there in Jacksonville, I think you remember they had Doug Peterson. That joker good. Because he was horrible. But Liam Cohen, I think his name is. He's very offensive minded
Mm.
coach. He down there with Sunshine. They got their little backup in there too. And I think the offense he could help them because that's his thing. But it's gonna be funny to see what the Jacksonville, in my opinion, also not a great org. So who knows?
Yeah, with him, he was the funny story about him is that he was in contract negotiations with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but also the Jacksonville Jaguars wanted him as well. And he somehow just started ghosting the Buccaneers when they was trying to offer him a contract.
Oh,
And that's how he ended up in Jacksonville. So he not on the friends list. He ain't getting no Christmas cards from the Buccaneers when it come December. So it was a funny story
okay.
with him. So I'm not too sure how good of a coach he's actually going to be. Again, another team that's young, that's in a rebuilding stage, and they got Sunshine, who ain't really been working out. I mean, if he couldn't work out for Doug Peterson, who's, I know you said a terrible coach, but he's a veteran type coach, and he should kind
Mm-hmm.
of like he had Carson Wentz out there looking like Joe Montana at times. So I mean, Sunshine might be in a little bit of trouble. It might be more downhill for him having a rookie coach come in. I mean, because that dude was what, offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, he did. I guess he did okay with Baker Mayfield, but I think a lot of that really was Baker
He made
Mayfield
Baker look
too.
great.
Yeah, he made Baker look great, but Baker's also a veteran too. Sunshine is kind of what, 3-4 years in or something like that. And he's kind of been
Four.
playing terrible.
Four. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about this guy. I don't think he's really going to survive in Jacksonville that long either, because Jacksonville is not a patient organization, it's not a patient fan base. They want results. I mean, they've been pretty close a few times these last couple of years, and they just haven't really been able to get over the hump. I actually originally thought that Doug Peterson was a good hire for that team, considering he was coming in with a lot of success from Philadelphia and stuff like that. Wait, was Peterson the coach of the Eagles when they won that Super Bowl with
Um,
with the
I have to
backup
look it
with
up.
Nick
I'm not
Foles?
sure.
I think he was,
Okay.
or he might have been close or something like that. Either way, Philly got rid of him, but I thought that was a good hire for Jacksonville. I'm not too sure about Mr. Liam, because when he first got, the man is a cornball, really. Because did you see the his introductory press conference where he was just set up and said Duval? He just said it all wrong, all incorrect. Like
Oh
you,
my
you
God.
know the saying with Duval, right, in Jacksonville? Like he just
No, what
sounded.
is it?
You had to go back and listen to it, but he just messed it up. He messed up the whole saying and the motto, and he kind of got off on the wrong foot with the fan base a little bit. But he's definitely not getting Christmas cards from the Buccaneers, because he ghosted them as they was trying to give him a contract extension to make him one of the highest paid offensive coordinators in the league. And then, like I said, Jacksonville online too. He's talking to them, and he didn't tell Tampa Bay that he was considering Jacksonville at all. So they
I
was
mean,
kind of
maybe
in
he
the
just
dark.
wanted to keep his cards close. Yeah, I don't know. He wanted to keep his cards close to the vest.
Hey, well, like I
Okay.
said, he ain't getting no Christmas cards from Tampa Bay. I know that much.
Okay. All right. So I don't really know any other coaches that I highlightable for this particular stream, but let's talk about some of these teams spending this money with these contract extensions,
Well,
right?
before we get to
So
that, we ain't gonna talk about America's team new coach.
no, no, we not. We're not gonna talk about y'all new coach.
What?
Because he was a nobody and he's still a nobody.
That's
And
okay.
we're
We
not gonna
can we
talk
can talk
about him.
about him come February when he the NFL Super Bowl
If y'all make
coach.
it to the Super Bowl, we're gonna highlight that. We're gonna highlight it. I don't think we're gonna end up highlighting it, okay?
That's crazy. The hate is real. We're not gonna talk
Hey,
about America's team.
we
That should
not.
have been the first coaching hire that we talked about. That's the most
Absolutely
important
not.
one.
If we had to grade it, it's an F. All right. So now on to these contract extensions where these teams is spending this money. Now your team don't know nothing about this because they're not spending no money. And they're not spending it the right way because they already gave it to Dak. All right? They spent too much for him. But I'm going to just say this one was very surprising for me. The Bengals extended both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. That's expensive as heck. You know? I'm like, they're committed long term to like Joe Burrow. They pretty much gave him back his wide receiver. And I just hope that Joe Burrow and the two wide receivers hold up enough where they actually, the Bengals, get their money's worth of players.
Right.
And I thought they was gonna let T go because I just didn't think that they could afford.
They really can't. Like the Bengals offense really wasn't the problem with the Bengals. I think it was the Bengals defense, which is what their problem was. And it is kind of crazy that they were really signed to wide receivers to these massive contracts. But it seems like they really have not learned anything from their history, because when they signed Ocho Cinco back in the day, they also signed TJ Houshmandzadeh as well. So they had two number ones getting big money from the team. And also, I think they had Carson Palmer at the time as well. So it's kind of like deja vu with the Cincinnati Bengals again, because you had Carson Palmer, you had Ocho, you had TJ. I can't remember if AJ Green ever played with Ocho, but either way,
I don't think so.
well, I do know that they signed Ocho and they did sign TJ to long term contracts, and they
Right.
also had Carson Palmer, and that didn't work. So why would they revisit it again and have another paid quarterback and two wide receivers? But I think the biggest issue with the Bengals is with them signing T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, they left out one of the key persons on defense, Trey Henderson, who is one of the
Oh, you're
best
right.
defensive players on that team and also in the NFL. So how you not pay your defensive person, but you pay your two wide receivers? And I think nothing against T. Higgins, but ain't he injury prone?
He is. So he was hurt a lot last season. But like, is he really injury prone, or was he injury prone to get his check injury prone? So I
Right.
mean, let's be real here. Sometimes the injuries are legit, and sometimes they're like, I'm not gonna just go out here and give it my all
Right.
within me. So um
I don't follow the
maybe it was
Bengals all that
legit.
close though, but
Me
so
neither, but I do have them on my fantasy teams. At least Jamar Chase and Burrow.
right.
I'm all in.
But in the perfect
All right,
world,
and
when they both was healthy, was they both producing at a high level and the Bengals was like winning games and really
yeah, they
contenders?
were.
Okay. Was
They
that their
were.
Super Bowl
They
year?
were. Super Bowl year and even last year, even though they had a pretty like rocky season toward the end when they was both filled and playing for, they was I mean, it was they made Joe Burrow look really like when he has the weapons, he can do well as he can stay off the ground. So
Well, I feel like that's the story of the Bengals every single year. Like they always start off kind of slow and they always come out at the end. Like they really
mm,
haven't had like a full complete season where they dominated from start to finish, like some of these other teams are. But they
yeah.
Trey Henderson not extending him or not giving him any money or even the possibility of him leaving the Bengals is going to be it might be their downfall because you just not going to pay the best defender in the NFL no money, but you pay a number two wide receiver all that money, and
Okay.
it's just kind of crazy. But I'm not a Bengals
All
fan,
right.
so I ain't got to worry about
Yeah,
it.
I mean, me neither.
We'll see the Bengals in
Um
February if they make it.
okay. And then one that was extremely funny to me, Miles Garrett, after he requested a trade, they paid that man and he stayed. And who knew all it took was some money to just be like, yeah, I'm okay with staying on. So like, why did you think like you think it was really just because I don't think as a player you believe in your organization just straight up ask for a trade. Like tell me where they do that at. It's all about the money. Gotta be, right?
It's always about
And
the
I mean,
money.
it was massive, massive. That told me that this man does not care about the Super Bowl. That's what that told me.
I could buy a Super Bowl. I could buy a
You
trophy.
think so?
I could buy a
No.
trophy. I can put it in my house. You can tell whatever
I
narrative that you
mean,
want.
but it's not the trophy. It's not the ring.
That's
You don't
okay.
have no opinions about Miles Garrett taking the money after requesting a trade?
Hey, money talks and bullshit walks. So
Okay. Okay.
I can come out and say I want this and that, and then let's say the owner write me a massive check and be like, you know what, I was wrong. Let me go and sign this check. I'll take it. But Miles Garrett to me is something. It's kind of disappointing that he did not stand on business, one in the trade, and stand out and say, hey, I want to win the Super Bowl, yada yada yada. But hey, that yacht got to get paid for
Right.
somehow. So
Okay. I got it. One extension that I think is notable, but not like rocket science, but I think it was very deserving, is of course Josh Allen got extended.
mm,
Like I think it's like 6 year, $330 million, and that's like 250 guaranteed. So that was good and worth it.
that was only worth it, but it's kind of hard to swallow when you pay a quarterback that much that can't beat Kansas City or Patrick Mahomes or even make it to the Super Bowl. Like Josh Allen gets a lot of heat every single year, and sometimes he just really continues to just go out and win football games or put his team in position to win, and he's always there at the end. So I get the criticism sometimes with him, and sometimes I don't because he has a lot of success. But I mean, to your point, I mean, he kind of deserved it. I mean, he's always having his team in winning positions. I mean, they always almost about to make the Super Bowl. I mean, the Buffalo Bills ain't been right since my Dallas Cowboys got their hands on them back in the '90s. You know what I'm saying? Like,
not about the Cowboys.
It's not about the Cowboys, but it's been affecting the Buffalo Bills since the 90s.
Okay. All
But
right. All right.
Josh Allen is well deserved. I mean, I don't get the criticism with him sometimes. I mean, I like the guy. He be balling out. Like, he really deserves all the money he can get, considering what he has to deal with. I mean, they trade away, or did they release him? They trade away his wide receiver Diggs. People come back and be like, oh, he was the reason why Josh Allen was good and stuff like that. And Josh Allen just proved them wrong. Like,
Yeah, he came back with people who weren't as name worthy and
right.
pretty much did his thing with him. So
Yeah. So
can't say anything to that. So
well deserved. Well deserved. So Josh Allen deserved that money. So we're not gonna talk about the CD Lamb extension either.
nah, because it wasn't in the off season.
I see the theme of this episode. You just finding a way to leave out my Dallas Cowboys.
Let me see if I can find one for the Dallas Cowboys. It's
Nope,
about to get
nope.
loud in
Let's
here,
move
by the way.
on. Don't try to put us in the. We're not a plan B. Okay, my Cowboys
Okay.
ain't plan B. Off-season
Okay.
moves. What you got?
Another off-season move. Trey McBride, 4 years, $76 million. They needed that in Arizona
Trey
because
McBride. He's a tight end.
He's a tight end. Yeah, he's needed.
He's their only option.
Well, yeah. They got to do something to make it happen over there.
I mean, Colin Murray can't see that far down the field. He's a little midget, so he got to throw it to somebody who's checking down and who's only like 5 yards away. That's the reason why he can't hit Marvin Harris Jr. because he's all the way down the field, so he can only see Trey McBride. So I get that. Colin Murray's only like 5 feet.
And then let's another extension that I think. Oh, this is interesting. Chris Godwin got extended after he broke his ankle or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that he comes back and he's like better than ever. But it's gonna be interesting to see how he does.
Yeah, I like Chris Godwin. I mean, I saw him play in person when I went to the Cowboys and Bucks playoff game. But I like him. He's a good fantasy person as well. But I like Chris Godwin. I wish him the best. I hope he definitely comes back. Him along with Mike Evans is a good wide receiver combo. And I think Chris Godwin is probably like a lower paid wide receiver too. Like he didn't get T. Higgins money, I don't think. But for what they got him at, he's a good addition. Because when they be double teaming Evans and they go to Godwin be wide open or he be single covering. He actually produce. There's not too many wide receiver twos out there that actually produce on a consistent basis. Chris Godwin is definitely one of those people.
Right. Okay. So a few off-season moves, not extensions. Some people got extensions, some people didn't. And I'm big on Cooper Kupp. So of course the Rams let him go, and this is kind of 2 in 1. So the Rams let Cooper, and he went to Seattle, right? And in Seattle,
Wait, where's your mic? Get closer to the mic.
I can't.
Oh, well, point it up or something. Is it pointed up?
Yeah.
Okay. Go.
So Cooper Kupp, but then they released Cooper Kupp and they signed Devontae Adams. I don't even know what to think.
Is Cooper Kupp, in your opinion, washed up, or is he still serviceable to you? Like, you think he could still be productive out there? I mean, he seemed like he could based on how he's playing with the Rams when he did come back from his injury. So I was kind of hoping Dallas went after him, but they didn't. But Cooper Kupp probably still can play. The Rams, just didn't want to pay him, right? That's the reason why they cut him?
Yeah, I think so. I think not that they didn't like him. I think the organization loves Cooper Kupp, but overall, number one, they didn't want to pay him. And I think because of his injuries over the years, I think the ownership kind of lost a little bit of faith in him. And now with them having Puka, I guess they say they don't really like them. So imagine Puka and Devontae together. We'll see how that goes. So there's those 2 players. And then Justin Fields to the New York Jets. I think that's a disaster waiting to happen.
Well, you know what?
But you never know, because I hope Justin Fields go there and do his thing, because he didn't get his fair shot.
We didn't talk about Aaron Glenn going to the Jets as a head coach. He came from the Lions as well. So Aaron Glenn was a defensive coordinator So it's going to be very interesting to see what he does with Justin Fields and how he utilizes him on the offensive side of the ball, and who the Jets has to get for OC. That's really going to determine how successful Justin Fields is. I mean, because I thought he did pretty good in Pittsburgh, and he probably should have continued to be the starter for Pittsburgh until he lost a game or something like that, or until he lost it, because Pittsburgh still was winning games with Justin Fields at quarterback. And I know hindsight and common sense definitely tells you that Russell Wilson is way better than Justin Fields, but Justin Fields didn't lose that job. Like, they just substituted him out. So who knows how much more development Justin Fields could have got if he had stayed the starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So who knows? I
Right.
wish him well in
I
New Jersey though.
yeah, me too. I hope he do his thing. I'm gonna go on the defense side a little bit. I think you guys had a defensive player you extended. I'm gonna go back to that in a minute. Because I don't know how to say his name, so you're gonna have.
Who?
So the defensive player, what's his name?
Defensive player that we signed?
Osa. Yeah,
Oh, Osa,
Osa.
the defensive tackle. Oh, that man's a beast.
Yeah.
That's defensive player of the year
So
next
y'all
year.
y'all got him back.
Yeah.
80 million extension. He defensive lineman. So y'all, good job, good job.
I will say,
Um,
honestly, he is a very expensive defensive signing, a defensive tackle, 80 million a year. That is kind of expensive considering that we still couldn't really stop the run last year. But I'm hopeful, and I'm telling you right now, that's defensive player of the year right there. Maybe even Super Bowl
you're not worried
MVP.
about what they're gonna do with Micah?
Micah, I kind of am a little bit, but I may have an unpopular opinion that maybe Micah might not be worth the headache that he continues to provide. So we'll just wait and see. I want us to re-sign him. I just want to see what number he signs at, because according to him, he's willing to take a little bit less in order to continue to have flexibility for the team overall. But we'll see how true that is. I mean, we'll see if he pulls a Myles Garrett and takes all the money. So that is yet
Right.
to be determined. I know they actually had some conversations with Micah, and they bringing in his agent. So hopefully they get the deal done. The problem with the Cowboys is that they wait too long to sign their players. Like, this Micah Parsons deal should have been done immediately after the season started, the new season started, which started probably like a month ago. Like, the longer you wait, the harder it is to sign your players, and the less money that you actually got to sign new people. So I don't. That's just the way the Cowboys do business, and it's forever gonna be our downside.
Okay. So one of the off-season moves that I think I was very vocal with you about that I didn't like and that I don't understand is Laramie. The Texans let go of Laramie Tunsil to the Washington Commanders. I don't get it. I mean, CJ was running for his life last year. Really gonna be running for his life. Like, what was that? What do you think about that? I mean, it's
But
great for the Commanders.
wasn't Larry on his second team? Wasn't the Texans his second team? Didn't he get originally drafted
I
by
don't
the
know,
Dolphins?
but
Yeah, he came from the Dolphins. He was originally selected by Miami. Then he got traded to you guys. Um, I thought he was a pretty good offensive lineman. I mean, I know he had some issues on draft day where he kind of fell a little bit, but at some point the quarterback just got to stop patting the ball and let it go. I mean, there's definitely times when your quarterback held the ball a little bit too long, and he should have been taken off. But Larry, plays left tackle or something like that? What position does he play? But you guys did actually
you might be right.
sign. Yeah, you guys did sign some offensive players. Like, what do you think about the
Yeah,
new additions?
I don't know about them. I'm not. I'm still holding hope. I'm hoping they do something good in the draft, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. So, a few moves that I think is good to talk about. DK left the Steelers and he's with the Seahawks, and when he got there, they extended him. And then I think when Gino went to the Raiders,
Yo, is
he
that
got
toy
there and
really that loud?
yes, when he got there, he went to the Raiders too.
DK Metcalf. All right, we're talking about DK. DK going to where? Where'd he go?
He went to the Seahawks. No, he went to the Steelers. My bad. Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
And when he went to the Steelers, they immediately signed him to a 4-year, $132 million extension.
DK's success is going to depend on who is throwing him the ball. I know they may be trying to get Aaron Rodgers or whatever, but DK ain't gonna be good if there's nobody. If Mason Randolph is throwing him the football, like DK is a big target. I like DK. He's big. He's physical and stuff like that. But if there's no quarterback to throw him the ball, he ain't gonna be good. I mean, he was doing good even when he had Geno Smith at quarterback. I mean, like I said, that was another. I talked to DK. DK said he wanted to come play for America's team, but that didn't happen. But that's okay. He gonna go to Pittsburgh, and you know, it all depends on who their quarterback going to be. But I like DK to Pittsburgh, and I only like DK to Pittsburgh because of the Mike Tomlin. But he's a good players coach.
Okay.
He's a good players coach.
Okay. So I say all this to say it was a lot of off-season movement and everything like that. So now we just gotta look forward to the draft coming up, and we're gonna see what we're gonna do.
I agree. Definitely, I'm looking forward to the draft and who the Cowboys pick at 12. And what pick does your team have?
We're not talking about my team or your team.
Tennessee Titans got the number 1 pick. Who should? Matter of fact, before this, since we're talking about draft, when we're wrap it up, and I know Cam got their little toys going and stuff like that. Like that toy is loud as hell. Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, or how do you feel about Shedeur Sanders? Is he worth the hype? Should he go high? Should he go second? Or Travis Hunter? Like, how do you feel about that combination? They gonna make good pros. They're gonna be busts.
I think Cam Ward is gonna make a good number 1 pick. Like, period. If they don't take Cam Ward, if somebody don't take Cam Ward, crazy. I think he's really the real deal. Shedeur, like, I'm kind of like iffy with him. Like, I think he should be in the top 10 somewhere. But I think that Travis Hunter should be drafted well before him. Well before him.
You think Travis Hunter could play offense and defense in the NFL?
I think he can play on both sides of the ball. I'm kind of interested more so in Cam Ward, if they better take him. And then I'm more interested in terms of where Shedeur lands. I'm wondering if he's going to make it to the Giants or if the Raiders are really going to take him, even though they have Geno there. It's going to happen. And I think one of the things that everybody's looking at this draft is Ashton back.
Right. He's going to be a Cowboy. Hopefully he falls down to number 12. But
he is not going to pick Ashton Jeanty. Just go ahead and get your tears out now. Get your tears out now. Wah, cry about it. Cowboys will not be back. Okay?
All right. So I got Cam Ward going to Tennessee. Travis Hunter probably definitely going to be like number 2 or number 3. Travis Hunter might go to the Browns. Shedeur, I think the Raiders were talking about him. I don't see the Giants picking him at 3. That's a little bit high for Shedeur. I think they probably might go defensively with that Abdul Carter type dude, that defensive tackle. So he might go 3. Shedeur might fall down to maybe the Raiders or something like that. He's probably going to definitely go in the first round, maybe around 15, 20-ish or whatever. But the Giants should not select him at number 3. That's too high for Shedeur. And I think he's kind of overrated a little bit, but that's another episode that we could talk about. But I just want to get the offseason changes, the coaching changes, the offseason moves. People moved around to new teams and new coaches. And I'm here to tell you none of that's really going to matter because the Dallas Cowboys is actually going to win the Super Bowl next year. So we got a new coach, new wide receivers. We signed CeeDee Lamb to a contract. We got Michael Parsons coming up. It ain't going to matter what some of these other teams do. I'm trying to tell you. And that's how we're going to end it. Subscribe to the channel, drop a follow, turn on your bell icon so you know when we drop another video. And we'll catch you guys next episode, Siblings Unscripted.